Continuing on with Adobe Illustrator Classroom in a Book, Chapter 7, Part B. We are on page 215, and I'm going to, again, hover over the bottom center point. Notice it doesn't have that little widget hanging off the bottom. Now, if I were to click on this middle point again, I would be able to turn off the auto sizing. So now I'm going to, I know we just put it in, go back to my text tool. We're going to take out the California, San Diego, and hit delete. Our text area shrank vertically to fit around the text. Select again the selection tool and drag from within the text down and put it to the left of our black sign shape, and you want it just somewhere in there. You need to drag directly from the text, not from a blank area in the type area. Just make sure you're clicking on a letter, and you're going to deselect. Control D will Control Z. Let's go select, deselect. Oh yes, it's Shift Control A these days. They've changed that. To deselect, and you're going to save at this point. Okay. You're going to you have the ability to convert between area type and point type, and you can convert very easily back and forth. This is useful if you type a headline by clicking, but later want to resize it or add more text to it without doing a pull and stretch, because basically what happens then is you're resizing the text itself, not the box only. So we find it useful if you paste a paragraph of text from something else into Illustrator, because most of the things that you put in paste as point type, but it would be a lot better if you had area type so you can flow text. So we're going to convert a text object from point type to area type. So fit your artboard, go to View and fit your artboard in Window. Go get your type tool, click to make a point type object somewhere in here around the tail, and type in the text Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Okay, no period. We're going to move this text later. Now, get your zoom tool, zoom into that text so you can see what you're doing, and pick up your selection tool, and notice right away you get your bounding box around the text. If you drag the center right bounding box to the left, the type is going to stretch, right? Oh, I did the right one. Text stretches. Undo, because we want to leave this. Position the pointer, select it again, position the pointer over that little dot, or circle rather, that's off on the right side. Now, the hollow end indicates that that is point type. When the pointer changes, you click on that, double click to convert area type. So if you double click this, now you've converted to area type. The little indicator here is now solid, and you have that lower bounding box. So you want to drag, remember this, we worked with this before, we're not going to use that, but we want to drag this over and down now, so the 6:30 p.m. is wrapped to the second line. Now, you're going to drag the area down onto the top of the brown end of the lion's tail, so way down here. Okay, and you can scroll down. If you are using a mouse with a center roller on there, you should be able to roll to move your screen. Otherwise, you might drag if you need to get that centered. We're next going to import a plain text file, and you can import text that was done in Microsoft Word with a DOC or a DOX file extension. You can install an RTF file, a rich text file. You can do plain text. You can do ASCII. There's a whole listing there that you can import of the different file types. One of the advantages of importing text from a file instead of copying and pasting it is that you can have your text keep its formatting that you put in. So if you do a rich text file, it's going to retain the font. It's going to do the style specifications unless you remove those when you do the import. So we're going to now click off to the side to deselect. And let's go up to View and fit your artboard in the window again. And now in your layers, let's see, go and turn off the tails. Click on the eye to make them invisible. And we're going to go to File and select Place. Now, in the folder, when you downloaded and expanded your or extracted your files, you should have noticed that there is a text file in there. Okay, L7 text is the file that we are going to be placing. So select that, place. Make sure you select Show Import Options and Place. Now we're going to come up with these options. You can remove extra spacing. You can remove extra carriage returns. You can remove spacing between paragraphs. There's there's information. We know what kind of character set this is. So we can make adjustments to things. And we're going to say OK right now with the defaults. Now your pointer changes to this, and when you get to this thing that's a loaded icon. And what you're going to do is you're going to get up to where it says anchor, and you're going to click and drag to fill that box that we've got as a reference point. We're using that aqua box, and we're using that. It's holding us to a particular size simply because that's the way that this text was done. So the default is coming in because of the way we're placing it, so that everything falls to a particular shape, which is what it would have been in like a Word document or something like that, with to the size of the returns. We're not having text that's flowing at this point. What we're going to do next is we're going to drag the corner bounding box, release of course when you get down to the bottom of the of that box. And I want you to take that lower bounding box, click on that, and you're going to drag that up and to the right. Now do you see our text is going to flow, and it's going to wrap, and we're bringing this up. We want to get this until you get an overset text icon at that port. So let's pull this up a little bit. As soon as you get that overset text error thing that comes out, you can release your mouse, and leave the text selected. What we've done is we've placed a Word document, and that was keeping us restrained. Now, we're going to be working with that overflow text because we are missing part of a little section of our text, I believe. The formatting, which means the size of the paragraphs and everything, that was all brought in along with us. Now, we have an import here and an output port down here. The area type, and let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see this a little bit better. I don't like working with this out quite so far. But here's your import. It's that hollow box on this side, and there's your output, which is the other box. And I clicked on those boxes, and that loaded my icon. I don't want that, so I'm going to go back up and click on my select tool, because I could actually continue flowing my text, and I don't think we're ready for that yet. Now, there are three things that we can do. We don't want this because we've got a middle of a sentence here, and there's three things that you can do to fix this. We can thread the text into another type object, we can resize the text box, or we can readjust the text. Now, threading a text is continuing one text shape to another text shape when you're linking them. So that's called a thread. So we can have a text object which can be any shape, but the text has to be entered into the object or along a path. You can't link point type, which is the one that you did where you just clicked and typed. We're going to thread the text from one type object to another by linking the type together. So right now, let's going to go to View, and we're going to turn those smart gags off just so that we can move things without having stuff snapping to certain points. So with your selection tool, you're going to click on that output, and you're going to get this loaded icon. And now we're going to go and let's see, we're overflowing the text into an existing object on the artboard. Now, we want to select the next artboard. So go over there and position the pointer over the edge of the type object. Oh, first we need to go to Select All on Active Artboard. We still have our loaded, oh, that's lovely because we still have our loaded icon, but now we can see the text box that was hidden. And we're going to click in that little import. You see the chain that comes up? That means that those items are linked. So position over that and click, and that's going to link the text together.